Joe Rogan experience.
He set it up in a way that, like, okay, you're saying something that's actually factually inaccurate,
right,
according to the narrative. Now, let's be real clear. I don't necessarily think they know what's going on yet. There's a lot of weird shit going on with this.
I know.
First of all, there was that one guy who was the decoy. All right, so you got this guy who's an older guy who starts yelling out. Didn't he take his pants down? He took his pants down. This guy was at 9/11. He was at the Boston bombings.
All the hits.
He called in a fake bomb at another place. And then he did this at this thing. Right after, so somehow or another, this guy has the state of mind that the moment someone gets shot, he yells out and says, I did it, and takes his pants down or something like that. I don't know exactly what he did. Then, ready for this? He gets arrested for child porn right away.
Right after this happened?
Oh, right away. He's in jail for child porn. Why is that? Well, now you can't interview him.
Right. He's got, right.
Right. And because when the internet people start going, how are you at all these different things? Like, what are the odds? Like, if someone ran it through one of the ChatGPT fucking perplexity things, like, what are the odds that this guy would be at all those different events and be involved? Like, zero.
This is the guy?
Yeah.
I just like that the pants down part is just insane. It's like, why is your dick out, dude?
I did it. Listen, I'm not saying this guy is an insane. He's clearly insane. Yeah. Or not. Or he's professionally insane.
Right.
That's where it gets squirrely.
I almost texted you when the Charlie Kirk thing happened because my antennas went up about, they showed the photo of that kid, or the guy that they have, the 22-year-old, whatever. And I was almost going to be like, dude, do you think he's got the capability to do that?
Yeah, well, listen, there are people that look like that have the capability to do that.
Pretty accurate.
Nope. No? Not hard. Not hard at all. Let me dispel that. Okay. 200 yards from a prone position with a dead-on rifle. So if you have a dead-on rifle, so you set this rifle, you set your 0 to 200 yards, right? You know how far you're going to shoot. It is not hard at all.
He shot a lot?
You don't have to shoot a lot. So I could do it tomorrow.
If you're no, but you are experienced. If it's someone that's never shot, could they do it?
100%. Not
really?
If they've never shot, they wouldn't know where to look. They'd have a hard time acquiring the like when you look through a scope, like when the reticle is weird. Like sometimes
takes a minute.
You got to know the distance that you have to be from it to really line it up in your sights. But you could get a guy like my friend Andy Stumpf, who was a sniper in the SEALs. You could get him, and he could show you how to do it in an afternoon, and then you could hit steel at 200 yards every time you pull the trigger.
One day you could learn that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Not that hard.
Because it feels insane to me. I'm like, that seems tough.
It seems tough. We still haven't figured out whether or not the gun that shot Trump had a sight on it, because we weren't sure if it had a sight on it or if this guy was using iron sights. That was 140 yards. If you shot it with iron sights, that's a lot harder. because iron sights is you're lining up. So you have these two things in the back and there's one thing at the front of the barrel, and you got to line those bitches up perfectly. And that's how you stay accurate. That is a lot harder to do.
It's like old shotguns have those, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Pistols.
Yeah,
Like
pistols
you buy a
them.
Glock,
Yeah.
that's what it comes with.
Right.
But this kid had a rifle with a scope. Now here's where it gets weird. The first images of this rifle with a scope, I swear to God, it looks like he has a composite stock on it. Like it looks like a modern 30-06 rifle. So a 30-06, so that's the rifle. 30-06 is like, that looks like a very modern looking stock. I mean, it might not be. It might be just a bad resolution. It might be wood. It's hard to tell. But if you showed me that and you said, hey, this is my cousin's rifle, is this any good? I'd be like, looks like a standard bolt action rifle with like a sophisticated modern scope on it. Sure. Now, apparently, the narrative is that this is his grandfather's rifle from World War I and doesn't have a serial code. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. Why? Wait. Why are you using such an old gun? Like, that's kind of crazy. Like, is it possible that an old gun can be that accurate? If you have a gunsmith and they work on it, yeah, it's totally possible. You have a really good gunsmith and he sets, if you're like a nostalgic person, you like driving an old car, you could bring it to a mechanic, they could redo the brakes.
Sure.
So if you got a good gunsmith and he took a look at that and the action was true and, you know, the bore is good, you know, yeah, you could conceivably shoot with a gun for hundreds of years, right? Guns don't necessarily go bad.
Right. They don't expire.
Right. And especially because all this stuff like the trigger and the action and all that different stuff is replaceable. So you can just like, it's compartmentalized. It's components. That's the other thing. They said that he took it apart and then put it back together again. Shut the fuck up. Do you know how much time it would take to do that if you were highly skilled?
To disassemble a gun.
To disassemble a rifle so that you can get it in.
Okay, we should be fine.
Should be fine now, yeah.
I can see this though.
Be muted the whole time.
But that doesn't make sense. Joe Rogan clip had sound. Okay, well, I mean, that's good.
That's good at least.
Oh my God.
So can you hear us now? This is noob stuff, what we're doing right now. This is complete. Oh, it's working now. Good.
But I didn't even plug anything. That's the thing. I didn't change any settings.
Jesus.
Oh my.
Well, apologies for that, guys.
Honestly,
it's because I was working from home today, and I've
had a migraine.
I had to set up all of my stuff
work stuff
in the office.
Oh
So
my god.
I'll blame that on me. But anyway,
Okay,
guys,
well the clip was working, so
yeah. So what I think about
what just I guess summarize from what we've watched so far.
yeah. So okay, thanks, Ash. I think we must have been muted the whole time.
So many. You know what though? Because we were playing a clip, everybody watching, including on X, hello, probably didn't realize we were muted.
Well,
because we were watching a clip.
Well, who cares what we have to say
Anyway.
But yeah. So what I was saying is, we talked about this. What Joe Rogan was talking about on the show last night, and the official story from the FBI is Tyler went to the roof. Assembled the gun on the roof, took the shot, disassembled it within a few seconds, ran to the other side of the building, jumped off the roof, went into the woods, and then reassembled the gun again, but without any tools because he left the tools on top of the building. Roof. Does that make any sense to you guys?
No.
Makes zero sense.
You know, you guys need to watch our show from yesterday where we were showing you guys the footage of what he was wearing, how he ran across the roof. Like, there's no way he was he had a rifle. Like, this thing is huge and you don't see it anywhere. And also a gun like that, apparently you can't break it down very small either. And I've even seen some videos going around online where people have like tried to break it down and put it in a backpack and it like sticks up by like 10 inches. So that theory does not pan out. And so that begs the question then, well, what happened to the gun? Where was the gun? What gun? And also these like miracle bullets that are like this big.
And also from the pictures which we brought up yesterday, it doesn't even look like he's carrying a gun to the roof. And when he jumps off the roof, it shows you the footage of him apparently holding the gun. But when you look at the footage, it's flopping around like it's a hoodie or like a sweater or something.
Yeah.
So it's complete. It's just a complete lie, which are being sold here, guys. It really is. And you've got to. I mean, I don't know the answers, but the only thing I know is we're being lied to. That's literally a fact about this.
Yeah. No, 100%. It doesn't make any sense. And no one's buying it, including Joe Rogan. Let's see what else he says.
In a backpack. And by the way, not going to fit.
Not going to fit in the backpack.
And then somehow or another reconnects it once he gets off the roof. What? What's that about?
Is that what they pitched, huh?
Yeah. And then he's supposed to get it in that stupid fucking backpack. It's literally, it makes no sense.
And the elevator music was a nice touch, by the way.
Yeah. So this is just a narrative, right? Yeah. We watch a guy jump off the roof, and then we supposedly find this rifle. So if you can have a guy that's in the audience that's yelling, "I shot him, now shoot me! I shot him, now shoot me!" and then that guy gets arrested for child porn charges, like he's like, what is going on here? So and then weird. You find this rifle, and then you say, "Oh, he assembled it and he reassembled it." Like, okay. A lot. If I wish I was a cop, I'd sit in a room like, this story is horseshit. Like none of these things make any sense to me. Like, you're telling me that this kid who's not military trained, this guy, first of all, how did he get to the roof? How come nobody was looking? How come nobody was like, there's a direct line of sight between.
This is what people need to be doing. I'm not sure if the police or the FBI have even done this, but where's the surveillance or security footage from around the building?
Exactly. It's a campus, of course. There's loads of cameras.
Where's the footage from the day before? Because one of the theories which has been going around is Tyler maybe dropped off the gun on the building the day before.
Yeah. So
why can't people investigate a day before or a couple of days before to debunk that theory, and then we can cross it off the list and we don't have to focus on it? But it feels like the only people who are trying to get this case solved are people who aren't the FBI. Yeah, that's what it feels like to me.
Apparently, there's pressures at UVU to stop stop the investigation.
What? So like
to end it,
to conclude the investigation, to charge Tyler with murder or whatever.
Yeah, I did see it. I don't know if I bookmarked it though.
Just type it in. Just type in. Type in on the search bar. Anything? Doesn't matter. We'll bring it to you if we find it.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, but
doesn't matter.
But that wouldn't surprise me if it's true, because they're clearly under a lot of pressure, you know, to get this
wrapped
up as quickly as possible. And it feels like to me the shoddy story which we're being told, the shoddy timeline and the evidence or lack thereof which we've been shown. I mean, there isn't actually okay. So Tyler apparently confessed to his parents or his dad about the murder, and then his dad turned him into the police or the FBI.
Into it was like a retired sheriff next door or something.
And then he gets into police custody, and he hasn't confessed to the crime.
And he pleaded not guilty.
So why exactly has he been arrested? That's my question. Because
or what evidence do they still have on him? Because now it's been almost 2 weeks.
This is what I'm saying. When you actually look at the evidence objectively about what can be proven in a court of law, right? There isn't any.
Yeah.
There's no confession. There's no actual footage of him committing the crime. Or the only thing we've got is a confession to his dad that he killed him. That's literally
allegedly as well.
But that wouldn't pass in court. It's circumstantial evidence, because anybody could just say to their parents that they've killed someone. There's no actual right.
There's no proof.
So
and also,
if that ever got to court, I mean, what kind of evidence do the FBI actually have to convict him? That's what I'm trying to ask.
Well, yeah, because those text messages were very obviously fake, and that's not also a confession either.
And this isn't me saying I think he's innocent. I'm just saying,
who knows?
I'm looking.
He's obviously involved somehow.
Because I honestly don't know, because I'm not involved in the investigation. I'm just telling you what I can see with this. And when I'm looking at this in a skeptical way, or like an then there's no actual proof that he did anything. There actually isn't.
There isn't.
and that's like the insane thing.
Crazy.
That like there isn't actually any proof.
Yeah.
You know?
I know.
It's pretty wild.
And there's just so many cracks in this narrative that it all seems fake and made up. And like it was there was like multiple decoys to let the real killer get away. Yeah. The FBI claiming suspect was already caught, could have given that time to get home or killer getting away.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And
for sure.
You know, there was perhaps more than one decoy. And because we showed you guys yesterday that footage allegedly of, it was Tyler Robinson allegedly the night of the murder getting a Dairy Queen, and you know, somebody running away from the cops and wanting to be hidden, waiting, you know, in his vehicle to get his gun from his drop point at 0800 hours. Maybe wouldn't nibble on some, like, I don't know, chicken nuggets and a blurry blizzard from Dairy Queen while they're waiting, where they know they're going to be caught on camera and in the public.
Have you noticed
it's just insane?
Have you noticed how like sloppy these people are getting with like the cover-ups as well? How sloppy the story is, how sloppy the timelines and the evidence we're expected to believe is. I mean, the FBI only a couple of weeks ago, was it, or maybe it was last month now, claimed that there was no, you know, that it was a hoax, the Epstein thing. And then a couple of days later, they released footage. And then there was stuff missing in the footage. Yeah. And now it's case closed again. Like
on the day of Charlie's murder, files got sealed.
Like, how can anyone believe these people? It's insane. But this is the thing, because people so desperately want justice, and rightly so, because something terrible happened. But the people in power know all about this stuff, and they use it to manipulate things.
Yeah.
And like you said, it went completely under the radar, but they've closed the Epstein case. Closed. The same time we had Pam Bondi talking about hate speech and, floating the idea that she wants to get some hate speech laws kind of brought in. And then, I don't like Kimmel, but you've seen comedians effectively being told by the government, Trump, that he shouldn't have a show. And I'm not a Jimmy Kimmel fan. I can't stand him. But it's pretty strange what's going on when you look at the timeline of what's happened and what's happened since. Pretty crazy.
For sure.
Feels like things are getting worse. It feels like things are going to get a lot worse for people, for sure.
Actually, Ash Dobbs brought up a really good point. How did that guy know that the police caught the wrong guy? Some crazy old man. I even think while he was on the run. Yeah, I mean, I guess he was looking at breaking news while on the run using his phone where they could ping him. Like, again, and this is actually the other thing. So, as I'm saying this out loud, if the police were looking for Tyler, I guess they probably didn't know who he was at that point until the parents turned him in, actually. Because I was going to say, he had a phone. He was texting his boyfriend. Why couldn't they ping the phone? But I don't think they knew at that point it was Tyler Robinson. I think they were looking for that, like the description and the picture of him. But now saying it out loud, they wouldn't know actually his name, well, allegedly, until he confessed or like he went to the police station. But again, why go to the police station if you're going to plead not guilty? And then I guess because your face is everywhere, really, somebody would find out who you were. But it's just so strange. Like, we're supposed to just connect all these dots. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's probably how he knew some crazy old man was because he must have been on his phone. And he was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to get away with this if it's him. Because he can see pictures of himself and video of himself all over. But again, what's his social medias then? Because I don't think anybody.
No one can find anything.
Anybody looking, has not found anything.
A bit like the Trump guy.
Yeah, the guy, the Butler, Pennsylvania. Yeah. Like, again, we don't really know the full story. Everything in his apartment was wiped clean. No social media. All his devices were wiped clean. Like that. Like, we didn't go like deep about that last year on the show, but like, there's a lot of holes in that case too. It doesn't feel like a case closed to me.
No, definitely not.
There's a lot of holes in that one as well. Like, what was really going on?
But this happens all the time. I mean, it's been going on for decades with assassinations. You never get the full story. I mean, we're still waiting for answers for JFK, and how long ago was that?
We'll never get the full answers.
No. But this might turn into the new JFK when we're talking about it in 50 or 60 years.
100%. I think so.
This might be another one of those, unfortunately.
Jinx. Right.
Let's finish this clip off then.
Where he's sitting and those roofs. You guys didn't check? You don't have a drone? Like, that's insane. So he's on the roof. He shoots. He jumps from the roof. He jumps down 14 feet.
Yeah, we saw didn't they have video of him jump? Somebody had a cell phone video of him jumping.
There's a video of him jumping. So this guy, whoever it is, jumps off of the roof and lands, whether or not he's even the guy who shot him. Maybe he thought he was going to shoot him. Maybe he's a patsy. Maybe he did it.
I feel like he's a plant. Did you see the video? Did you see the person doing the investigating on his mom's Facebook?
No.
You haven't seen this? Have you seen that, Jamie? Some dude online.
His mom's got a weird Facebook.
It's very trippy. It doesn't make any sense. Like, the more they keep looking into it, the more they're like, this doesn't feel like a real, it feels super fabricated.
But here's the thing. Just like I was talking about when people are arguing on social media, It's all part of the plan. If you want things to be,
oh, I wanted it so bad. Buckets, buckets.
If you want people to lose all faith that anyone is going to solve anything, you add a bunch of, if you're going to kill a guy, you add a bunch of other wacky shit that doesn't make any sense, and you spam it out there at the same time. You leave a gun that didn't do it out in the woods. You do a bunch of shit like that.
You have an old man put his dick out and yell, I did it, I did it.
Yeah, you get some kid who has a boyfriend who's a furry, and you
boyfriend
talk
is a
to him on
furry?
Discord. I think he's a furry.
Is
I don't
that
want to disrespect.
I don't know if that's a real
his boyfriend's definitely a guy who became a girl.
And wears furry stuff.
I think they do furry sex. Or furry games, excuse me. My apologies. I don't want to disrespect the furry sex
Shout out
or
to the furry community. Yeah.
Bro, shout out to the furries, because me and Duncan.
What a way to end the clip.
Yeah. But anyway, what's like your thoughts on that then? Because he did go into some stuff which we went through on the show as well.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah, he's spot on about the end. What he said at the end, that of course these people would plant bogus stuff in the crime scene to confuse everyone. And I think one of the most interesting parts, not what Joe Rogan was saying, but in general, is what's my train of thought now?
what
was I going to say?
Just about the division.
Yeah, about the division. It just feels like all of this stuff at the moment, what we're seeing is to make the left and right even more divided to me.
Yeah.
As well. Because you've got loads of people who are on the right, I guess you could call them, who are calling for certain people in the right to be cancelled simply for asking questions about this as well.
Yeah, we mentioned on the show yesterday how many people are trying to go against Candace Owens because she's simply investigating it further, and she gets a lot of tips, and people on the right posting a screenshot of them blocking Candace as if it's like a badge of honor. It's really strange.
Dumb. And so dumb.
And then still talking about her days later after they've posted that they've blocked her. It's like, okay, we get it. You blocked her. Why are you still talking about her? It's really weird. And she hasn't done anything wrong. She's not lying about anything. She's just looking at it from a different angle. And she also has spoke to people at TPUSA and saw some other footage. So like, she's honestly just trying to understand what really happened, because she's not buying this narrative.
As anyone would if they lost their friend.
And I'd say like,
seems like a pretty normal thing to do to me.
I'd say like, based on the things that I've been seeing online and people talking and reading comments, like it seems as though about at least 70% of people are not buying this narrative, because there's a lot of holes to the story. And we've been like, people are taking it upon themselves when they have similar guns to shoot, concrete, steel, a watermelon. And every time this type of bullet is piercing through all of these things with ease. And so it doesn't line up that, and then, them trying to say that it was a miracle, but honestly, that kind of bullet, there's not a chance in the world where it wouldn't go through. So people aren't buying that that's the gun. Not that it didn't happen, but just that that's not the way it happened. And people deserve to know what actually happened.
For sure. And it's just so crazy how, like I said before, there's no actual proof that he did it. When you actually look at it, there's no proof.
No. So what did really happen? And also, who is George Zinn? The weirdo old man who pulled his pants down saying, I did it, shoot me. Who is he and what other events has he been to? Joe Rogan kind of alluded to it, but did not go into detail. So we asked Super Grok to, it's like a first time using it, to actually list out what he's done. And this is actually quite interesting.
Yeah, so let's scroll up a bit.
Hold on, let me see if I can zoom in.
Yeah, that's better.
There we go. Better. Also for the audience.
Yeah, just so I can read this. So George Hodgson Zinn A 71-year-old Salt Lake City resident has a long history of involvement in political activism, disruptions, and legal troubles spanning decades. He is known for attending political events, particularly those involving conservative figures, and has been described as a frequent disruptor at Republican gatherings. Below is a summary of his notable past involvements based on public records and reports.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 1988, Republican National Convention. Zinn attended without credentials and was found sleeping on the floor of Ronald Reagan's Secretary of Education's office. The GOP chairperson organized a fundraiser to cover his resulting legal fees. 2002.
Fines.
Oh, fines, sorry. 2002, U.S. Senate campaign in Minnesota. Zinn volunteered for Republican Norm Coleman's campaign against incumbent Democrat Paul Wellstone. Wellstone died in a plane crash 11 days before the election, ruled accidental, but speculated by some as suspicious. And Coleman narrowly won against Walter Mondale. Zinn later claimed in a 2002 article that his efforts were pivotal to Coleman's victory. Coleman now chairs the Republican Jewish Coalition. More historical events. Go on this. 9/11.
Yeah.
Zinn was in New York City and witnessed the Twin Towers collapse firsthand. In early interviews, he was among the first to publicly attribute the attacks to Al-Qaeda. Boston Marathon bombing, 2013. How is he involved with all of these things?
I know. Yeah, and this is just what's public information.
How is he always turning up at these major events? How does he know things are going to be
going on?
How does he know that?
Mm-hmm.
Days after the April 15th bombing, Zinn emailed a hoax bomb threat to the Salt Lake City Marathon, leading to his arrest. He pleaded guilty to making a terrorist hoax and received probation. Recent legal issues. What's this? Zinn's pattern of erratic behavior at events aligns with his history, but specific prior arrests, but beyond the 2013 hoax and trespassing incidents are not detailed in available records. He has no documented ties to organized groups, but appears to act independently as a self-styled political agitator. It's interesting. I mean, to me, it's like, why would a guy like that, who is clearly old, right? An old guy.
Mm-hmm.
What's he doing at Utah University?
Well,
it just so happens to be the day that this happened.
No,
what other reason would he be there? Because he clearly doesn't have any. Does he have any family here attending the university? No. Does he go to university? No. Is he a teacher there? No. Does he work there? No. So why would he be at an event like that?
Yeah, and causing a decoy, knowing that he would be helping the killer escape. But how many decoys were there? Perhaps there was several, and he's the only one who got arrested. But maybe there was other ones causing scenes to distract the audience. Who knows how many there were? Maybe Tyler was one of them. I mean, we went through it yesterday, how there's ties to the CIA at the university and like steps to be in the CIA. And apparently before all this, Tyler graduated high school with like a 4.0 GPA, scored really high on his SATs. And then dropped out after a semester. I mean, why, if you were doing so well?
Well, people drop out of college all the time.
Of course.
For various reasons.
And there could be so many reasons, but one of them could be that maybe he was recruited into the CIA. Who knows? I mean, who knows? That's like going down a really big rabbit hole, but it is weird. I mean, it could explain some things possibly, or possibly just coincidences.
It's just a lot of weird coincidences with this case.
Yeah.
Really weird.
And it's really hard to know what the truth is. And then, of course, it leads to speculation and the what ifs. But that is one of many possibilities that could be possible, that he was recruited or pre-recruited into that or something. I mean, I don't know. Like, who knows? But it's all very, very, very weird. And I'm actually really glad that somebody who has as big of a platform as Joe Rogan is talking about it, and not just kind of like, I don't really want to focus on that, you know, because he has the reaction that most of us are having right now as we see more and more evidence that there's a lot of cracks in the story. He's having our reaction. Like,
well, to me, it's crazy how, you know, if you just look at it objectively, I know I've said this a few times tonight, guys, but there's literally no evidence.
Yeah.
And to me, it's unbelievable how they expect us to believe this shit when there's no fucking proof.
Yeah.
And we're always people who want to see proof. Like, we want to see, we've always preached facts over feelings. And that applies to this for me. It definitely applies to this, because there aren't any facts. There's no fucking evidence.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
Simple as that.
So, we're going to keep talking about it. And as we come across new interesting information, we're going to keep bringing it up for sure, because we want to know the truth, and the public deserves to know the truth. Like,
His family deserves to know the truth.
Yeah,
as well,
like, we can't let this be another JFK. Like, people deserve to know exactly what happened.
But if this was, like, say for example, this was you being assassinated, which I obviously hope doesn't happen. Okay.
Putting that out there.
Yeah. But I would be leaving no stone unturned.
Yeah, likewise.
Do you know what I mean? I would be on this 24 hours a day, and I would be obsessed.
Yeah, I'd be that person with, like, the photos all over the wall, like the string connecting dots, like, figuring this out.
I would be that meme from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia with Charlie, when he's, like, looking at the board and he's got all the bits of paper on there.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally what I'd be like. And, and that's so to me, why aren't we all like that? Because something tragic happened.
Yeah.
And it feels like everybody's just accepting this bullshit story, what the FBI are trying to feed us all. And they're happy to accept it because they want justice, and rightly so. Of course they do. But we need to make sure we're getting the right man.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
Before, like, forgiving him, make sure it's the right guy.
Make sure it's the right person.
Who actually killed Charlie Kirk? I don't know if it was Tyler Robinson, or was he just sort of part of the plan, but he wasn't the actual person who shot him. Like, who knows? Maybe he was involved in some way, but not the way that we all are being told. Like, we don't know. But as more things come out, and even more people talking about the way that the blood was coming out, it feels more like he was shot from behind, because of the splatter, and, like, the fact that the bullet didn't go through his body. So was it the actual gun? Like, there's so many things. And we brought it up again on the show as well yesterday. Make sure you guys watch that one. That was a good one, where we brought up the fact that they repaved everything days later, and it's an active crime scene with an open investigation.
I forgot about that part.
In what world can you manipulate a crime scene like that? You're obstructing evidence. So why are they allowed to do that? And now apparently, I will pull this up, guys, and maybe I'll just share it on X when I find it. But I did see where there's a push for the investigation to be closed, but there's not even.
I actually think it was Candace Owens who was talking about it. If you go on her YouTube channel.
No, it wasn't on YouTube. I know it was on X, I think.
Yeah, but you couldn't find it before. Just click on her YouTube channel and just type it in. Just go on her latest show, because I'm pretty sure it came up as, like, a suggested thing earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, breaking news. FBI pressuring Utah to close the Charlie Kirk case. Yeah. Done.
Oh, there we go.
Well, let's play it. Let's bring it up.
Well, that's like the whole show. Does she have any shorts of it? No.
Yeah, but it's just bring up like a few minutes of it.
All right, you guys, it is Wednesday, and I have a lot for you today because you're not going to be surprised to hear that the FBI is FBIing. That's what they do. And that's what they want to happen with the Charlie Kirk case. Of course, this is inevitable. I'm going to tell you all about that and what we know. So welcome back to Candace.
Oh,
well, I have it now on a very authoritative source that the FBI is putting an absurd amount of pressure right now on the authorities in Utah and also the rest of the government in Utah to come out and to say that the Charlie Kirk case is closed. They want it over. They want Charlie's assassination to be officially ruled lone gunman. It was a lone gunman that did that. Nobody else is involved. Now, why would they? Why would they want that? Right? What are they saying, at least to the authorities? Are they saying like, this is the reason? I'm sure they're not coming out and being honest or saying something that might ring truer to us, the public, which would be them saying, well, we know who did this and we want to protect those people, so close the case. What they're actually saying instead is essentially, if you don't close the case against Charlie Kirk and rule it a lone gunman, then it might mess up our prosecution against Tyler Robinson. That feels a little bit to me like moral blackmail. Hey, man, we're not hiding anything, but we've got this guy, Tyler Robinson. If you don't close this case, then it might harm our chances of locking this guy up. Yeah, I'm sure. I am sure that they are being just moral. I'm sure they're telling the truth to the authorities. Now, I want to remind you guys, we should take a look at their current case against Tyler Robinson to see if we should accept this narrative, because currently there is absolutely no video which shows Tyler Robinson firing the weapon or even taking aim at Charlie Kirk. In fact, the individual who filmed the footage of the shooter on the roof, the lone video that exists of the shooter on the roof, also told me that he doesn't think that Tyler Robinson is the guy. So how's that going to work for an eyewitness account? When he reported the shooter on the roof to Utah on the campus, he was clear that
we'll get into this tomorrow. This could be tomorrow.
But
we'll get into this tomorrow.
Point is, I knew I saw it somewhere. So yeah, it's the FBI pressuring the University of Utah to close the investigation. And so again, more red flags because we don't have actual solid proof and evidence. So what are they going to do? Hang a guy who could be potentially, or not hang, but execute a guy that could potentially be innocent or implicated in another way, not directly the one who took the shot? Like, I don't know.
What a mess. What a mess.
It's definitely a mess, and it's not giving me the warm and fuzzies that this is a case that should be closed. I think there's a lot more to investigate.
Look, if you look at it objectively, I've said this a few times, there's no evidence.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And you can't. Stinks.
Yeah, and it's not feel like I get people want justice. I do. It's it's a normal thing to have when something like this happens, but
it needs to be the right.
It needs to be the right person. It needs to be the right person, and it has to be based on proof. Like anything in life, you've got to have evidence to convict somebody of a crime.
Yeah.
That's why we have a justice system.
100%.
And I'm not saying that this guy is innocent. I hope the FBI do come out with some concrete, irrefutable evidence that this was the guy. But until that happens, I'm not going to say it's him because there's no evidence. Simple. But anyway,
I agree.
We'll leave it there, guys. We'll get into Candace's show tomorrow. I'm looking forward to talking about that tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, we'll get into that and probably have a few other things lined up as well for the show. So
yeah,
It's going to be a good one, guys. So make sure you tune in. For everybody watching on X and YouTube, thank you very much. Remember to give us a follow, like the show, subscribe to our channel. It does help. Leave a comment with your thoughts and opinions. Like, what do you think about all this? Are you buying the narrative? Are you also calling BS? Like, what are your thoughts and opinions? And yeah, let us know. Let's have a discussion.
For sure.
So we'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, live on YouTube and X. And yeah, thanks everybody for watching.
Thanks so much, guys.
Have a night. Have a night.
Take it easy.
Have a good night.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.